YouTube, what's going on? YCImaging here with another tutorial, and today I'm here to show you all 3 fairly simple but effective transitions that you can use in your vlogs or music videos or whatever other type of project you're planning on working on. I just personally labeled these vlog transitions because this is typically where you see this style of transitions really excel. So before we dive into this, I want to let you all know that a few of these actual transition effects will be available in my latest rendition of my transition pack. So if you're one of those people who don't really have the time to follow this transition, or you just simply don't feel like recreating these exact effects every time you want to use them, you can just hit the link in the description and check out my transition pack and purchase it if you're interested. You don't have to. As I said, I'm going to teach you all how to do it regardless, so I'll have the option down there in the description if you're one of those type of people. And also, if there are any sound effects in this video that you like and you're wondering where I got them, I got these off of AudioBlocks. Down in the description I'll have a link for you to check out AudioBlocks, and it's also an option there to sign up for 7 free days. So check it out, 7 free days, you don't have to pay anything. But let's just dive straight into the actual transition effects. So right here I have my 2 clips that I'm going to be doing for this matte transition, and you typically see the matte transitions where it's like an object that's going by the frame, maybe a person or a pole or a tree. Regardless, it's just something that basically splits the frame vertically. And as you can see, I have this big pole in this clip, and this is going to work perfect. So basically, you're going to scrub through, and we're going to want to find the first few set of frames where you can see the entire object that we're going to be masking out, and you can also see the other side of the clip. So this right here is going to work perfect for me. As you can see, I see the entire pole and a little bit of the left side of the clip. So let's just enlarge our windows so we can see the entire video frame. You want to see the edges. If you can't see the edges, you need to change the fit of your actual video percentage right here. This is going to work perfect for me. But let's dive into it. If we click on the clip, we're going to go to our effects controls, and we're going to click on our pen tool option for the mask for the clip. And if you have any experience doing graphic designs or pen tools with any other Adobe products, this is going to be fairly easy for you. So we're just going to want to follow our object point by point. This is going to be a lot easier for me because I'm doing this with a pole and it's typically straight up and down. But if you're doing this for a person or a tree, it's basically the exact same thing. So we'll add in our first point around the edge of the video clip. I'll add in my first one right here, and then I'll just go to the bottom, and I'll add in my second point, which is straight down. And then we're just going to wrap that around the left side of the actual image. If you're, as I said, if you're using an image or an object that is a lot difficult than this, you're just going to want to go around the object point by point. So if I was, say for instance, if I was doing him, I would just go around him point by point until I got to the bottom of the frame. So we'll just connect that right here, and as you can see, it's masking out the video. Let's just click the visibility off of this clip so we can see black, and we're just gonna go into our effects controls and hit invert it so it actually masks out the correct portion of the video clip. So we have our object masked out. Mine isn't the sharpest because it isn't in focus, but if you're in the exact same position as me, you're gonna want to up your mask feather just a little bit so it looks more realistic. So we'll just up our mask feather a little bit so we have softer edges on that. And if you hover over this, you can see your hand, and this is gonna allow you to move this over if you want to. I'm just gonna move mine over a bit so it hits that edge, and we have our first frame in. So basically, this is you going by frame on your clip until you have the entire video portion of it masked out. So if we hit this button right here, it's gonna take us to the next frame, but it's gonna track the shape of the mask that we created. So if you masked out a person or a tree or something, this is gonna make this a lot easier for you. My objects is really straightened down, so I really wouldn't have to use this, but I'll just do it so you can see. So if we hit that, it's gonna take us to the next frame, and as you can see, it kept the shape of the initial mask that we created. So we'll just go by frame like I said, and we'll just move our points over. So first things first, we'll adjust this over, move it over so we don't see those edges. And then we'll go to the next frame. If you hit this button, it'll take you a step forward over to the right into the next frame, so we can hit that. And then we'll do this, and you want to continue to do this until you have this entire video clip masked out. If your object is like mine and it's pretty much straight up and down, what you can do is to make this easier, you can select this point right here, and then if you hold the shift key and then you select this one as well, you have 2 points highlighted. So you can drag both points at one time and make this a lot easier if you're doing like a straight up and down object like me. And we're just gonna go through frame by frame, like I said, and continue to mask this out until we have this entire clip pretty much masked out. I'm gonna speed this up and check back in with you after this is done. Alright, so I went through all my frames and I have this pretty much masked out. If we go over to our mask path right here, which is what you're gonna see all your keyframes you added, if you continue to push the left arrow to go to the previous frame, we're just gonna wanna go over to the first keyframe that we added, and we're gonna have to go left on the timeline now because there's a few frames before we started to do our mask that we didn't mask out. So instead of pushing this one right here to go right, we're gonna push this one right here to go left on the keyframe. So we'll go left this time. We're gonna step back one frame to the left, and we're just gonna move over our object to make sure that we are keyframing to the left this time. We're gonna hit this again and go over one frame to the left again, move this over, and we're gonna continue to do this until we have our actual object fill in the frame and we don't see any of that clip over there to the left side. So one more time, and I think that's it. So we'll just drag that off a frame. And let's just play this back so we can see what this looks like. As you can see, it's continually masking off, and we can click this eye right here to toggle back on our visibility so we can see our next clip and see the transition as a whole. And as you can see, that looks pretty good. So that is how you do the mask transition effect. Next transition that we're gonna dive straight into is the glitch effect. And right here on the timeline, I have my two clips. So let's just get into it. We're gonna find our project media window. And at the bottom, you'll see an icon right here. That's a new icon item. You'll push that, and then we'll do an adjustment layer. Just hit OK. This is basically just gonna confirm that the settings here are the same of the sequence. Cool. We'll drag this in on top of our two clips. And the sequence of this transition, we want to be around 20 frames. So if we scrub through and we go to where our clips meet, we're gonna want to chop off 10 frames to the right and 10 frames to the left, if that makes sense. So as I said, scrub to the middle where the clips meet, and if we hold shift on our keyboard and we push right on the arrow keys, it's going to take us over 5 frames. So we'll do that twice to take us over 10 frames, and we'll cut off the amount of adjustment layer that we don't need. If we hold shift again on the keyboard and push left, it's going to take us over 5 frames. So we'll do that twice to bring us back to the middle, and then we'll do that twice again to take us over 10 frames to the left. And then we're just gonna cut off that portion of the adjustment layer that we don't need again. Perfect. So the effect that we're gonna be searching for in our effects panel this time is echo. So we'll add echo to the adjustment layer. Don't add it to the clips under, add it to the adjustment layer. Every clip under the adjustment layer is gonna be affected by the adjustment layer if you didn't know. So just add it straight to the adjustment layer. And basically what echo is, it's gonna give us the flash that we're gonna need in our glitch effects. So basically what echo does is it duplicates a few different layers of the clip on top of each other if you didn't know. And we have a few different adjustments right here. This is gonna adjust the amount of delay is in the clips. And this is gonna adjust the amount of different echoes you want, which is basically the clips that are duplicated over in the effect. So let's just up this up to around like a 3. And as you can see, this is getting super bright, and this is basically because the ad is on. The decay adjustment right here is gonna adjust the amount of brightness that's coming from the ad. So if we dumb this down just a little bit, so it's not too bright, maybe like a 50. I think a 50 looks fine. And we adjust the echo time, which is the amount of delay we're getting. As you can see right here, we can really see. So I think around here looks good, like a 1.7. I think that looks fine. So if we scrub over to this part of it, it's very easy to see as well because he's walking, and you can see the amount of delay right there. I think that looks super cool. So we got our flash portion of the glitch. We'll go through and add the actual glitch. So let's just search our effects panel for wave warp. This is the effect we're gonna need. And then we'll drop wave warp directly onto the clip. And as you can see, we're already getting a little bit of adjustments here, but this isn't what we need. First adjustment we're gonna do to wave warp is the wave type. So we'll do noise. And you can even do smooth noise if you want to, but we'll do noise for the sake of this actual tutorial. So the adjustments here, we have wave height and wave length. Wave height is basically gonna adjust the amount of distortion you get in terms of the actual glitch, in terms of the vertical aspect of it anyway. So as you can see right here, it's adjusting the vertical aspect of the glitch. So let's just undo that. And if we increase the wave warp, these actual waves are so small that we can't even see the edges of it. So if we continue to bring this up, let's just go to like a 1500. You can see more of a traditional glitch type around the edges of him. This is typically what we're used to seeing when we, hear the term glitch. So I think this is pretty good. And then we'll go in and we'll adjust the vertical aspect of it this time so we can see a bit more of the effect. And as I said, you can adjust all of these to something you like. If you wanted an intense glitch, you can just go all the way here. But I'm just gonna bring mine down to like maybe like a 17, not too much. You can see we still getting these black edges around the top. So if we go down and we adjust the pinning to all edges, this will no longer be. So cool, we're in there. So let's just play through this and see how this looks. You have a wave speed adjustment as well in this, so you can basically adjust the amount of actual waves that you want in this. You can see it's wiggles going throughout it. If you don't like how fast it's going, you can adjust it and make it faster if you want to. I think this looks good, so I'm just gonna leave mine at 1 right here on the actual wave speed. I think this looks fine as is. And that's basically how you create the glitch. Also, if you didn't want to do, say you didn't want to do a vertical glitch, say you wanted your glitch to go horizontal or even diagonal, you can just adjust the direction right here. So as we do that, you can see the actual direction of the glitch is switching a bit. And you can actually keyframe this if you want as well. So if we swap back to the first frame of our adjustment layer, and we add in a keyframe right here for direction, you can scrub to the end one, and what we can do is we can add in another keyframe point right here, and we could just up this percentage if we wanted the glitch to actually move while it's going through. So just keep that in mind. You can really customize it to however you want to. Again, it's all personalized and it really doesn't matter. It's all about how you personally want this to look. So that's the glitch effect. The next effect that we're going to be diving straight into is the zoom out effect. And you see these in vlogs all the time. I've been using these a lot personally, whether that be the zoom in or the spin or whatever. This is all the exact same concept. So we have our two clips, and basically this is going to zoom out of this one and zoom out of this one as well, but it's going to be a smooth transition between the two. So the first thing we're going to want to do with these with this personal effect is, if we scrub through, let's just find the frame where these two clips meet, and we're going to want to cut these clips, dissect them a little bit, because we're going to make some transform adjustments that might actually bring down the resolution of these clips a bit. So as I said, scrub to the frame where these clips meet, and we're going to jump over 15 frames to the left. So if we hold shift and we push left on the arrow key, it's going to take us over 5 frames. So we'll do that 3 times. And let's just cut the clip right here. This is going to be the portion where we're going to add the effect at. And we'll do the same thing on this side. So we'll scrub to where these clips meet, and we'll jump 15 frames over to the right. So hold shift, move over to the right 3 times, and we'll cut the clip. So these are going to be the 2 clips right here that we're going to be actually adding the effects to. So wow, I didn't know that was that color. So cool. So the first effect that we're going to be searching for in the effects panel is replicate. So we'll search replicate, and we'll add replicate to this particular clip right here on the left side. And in our effects controls for this clip, we'll up the count in the replicate adjustment menu to 3. As you can see, we have a cool little kaleidoscope looking effect on this clip right now. But our goal is to get these edges around here a bit smoother. So when we do the zooming out, it doesn't look like we just duplicated the clip around, if that makes sense. So the second effect that we're going to be searching for is mirror. So we'll drop mirror onto this clip right here as well. And let's just make a slight adjustment to this. So if we move our reflection angle over, our goal is going to be to get rid of those hard edges, as I said. So we'll just continue to keep on moving this over until we have a seamless transition between those 2 images. And as you can see right there, we no longer have that hard edge. So we'll drag on another mirror adjustment to this. And with this particular one, we're going to up the reflection angle to 180 degrees. You can see our image went black, but it's all good. We're just going to continue to drag this over as well until we see our image again. And we have the exact same mission here. We want to get rid of that hard edge, so that's a seamless image. So cool, we did it with that one. We're going to add in another mirror effect to the exact same clip. And with this particular one, we're going to up the reflection angle to 90 degrees. And we'll adjust that and bring it down so we don't have a hard edge on the bottom. And then we'll drag on another mirror effect to the exact same clip again. And with this particular one, we're going to need this reflection angle at negative 90 degrees. And we'll bring that up until we don't have a hard edge on that clip. So I know this looks super wacky now, but we no longer have hard edges. The next effect that we're going to be searching for is transform. So we'll do transform, and we'll drag transform right onto that clip. So here's where we're going to be making those zoom transitions. All right, so let's just scrub to where the two transition clips meet right here. We'll click on this clip. We're going to want the duration of this transition to be around 20 frames. So we'll adjust it for 10 frames on this left one, and then we'll adjust it for 10 frames on this right one as well to be the duration. So let's just scrub down to our actual transform one right here. And we're going to jump over around 10 frames to the left. So if you hold shift and you push left on the arrow key, it's going to take you over 5. We'll do that twice. So we go over 10. And we're just going to add in a keyframe right here for scale. If we hold shift and we push right on the arrow keys twice again, it's going to take us over 10 frames. We'll click on this, and then we're going to add in another keyframe right here for scale. If we push this arrow, it'll take us back to the first initial keyframe that we added. And we are going to want to up this to 300. So once we up it to 300, you can see we have the regular image that we added. It's no longer, we no longer see the edges because it's perfect now. So as you can see, it's going to zoom out because we added that keyframe. But we have to make a few other adjustments to this to make this look a bit better. So first thing we're going to want to do is uncheck this box for use composition angle, and we're going to up the shutter angle way up to maybe like a 200 or so. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us some motion blur to that, and we're also going to adjust the scale velocity as well, just to give us a bit of a hill to make this go faster. We did these adjustments in my last tutorial if you check them out. So once you click this drop down arrow right here on the scale, you're going to want to hover over your velocity box around these, and once you see this icon, you push it to enable your velocity adjustments. And what we're going to want to do is we're just going to drag this over. We're just going to drag this point over, and we're going to move it up. And this is going to create a hill for us, so it's just not like a sudden jump with the zoom out. It's going to be a gradual thing. So let's just check this out so we can see what it looks like. As you can see, we got the first part of this done with the zooming out. We're going to want to make the adjustments on the second clip. So the second clip that we're going to be adding the effects to, this one right here, the first effect that we're going to need is a transform, and we're actually only going to need a transform for this. So let's drag a transform onto this one, and let's just scrub back to where the clips meet right here, this frame. If we add in a keyframe right here for scale, let's just jump over 10 frames to the right. So if you hold shift, push the arrow key over twice, it's going to take us over 10 frames. We'll add in another keyframe right here for scale, and if we push this left arrow key right here, it's going to take us over to the first initial keyframe that we added in. Let's just up our scale amount up, way up. Let's just up it to like a 300. I think that's cool. Whoa, this zoomed way in on my face. All right, so once we do that, we're going to want to uncheck the composition shutter angle box again, up the shutter angle way up again, just like we did on the first one. And we're also going to adjust the scale velocity on this clip as well. So if we hit this drop down, just like we did on the last one, we hit this icon right here to enable our velocity adjustments. And we're just going to drag this over and move it up. We're building a hill. It's going to create the velocity that we need to make this look cool. So let's just play this through and see how this looks. As you can see, we have a smooth transition. The clip is zooming out. We no longer see those hard edges right there. It looks like a seamless image when it's zooming out, and we have some cool little motion blur on there as well. So that's how you do the zoom out effect. And also, if you wanted to make this pop a little bit more, you can even add in something in between those, like an additive dissolve. Say you wanted like a flash between those. Even though I think those looks cool, you know, you can really craft this into what you want it to be. So if we put like a small additive dissolve right there, we'll get a flash in there as well. So let's just preview that and see how it looks. You can see that looks pretty cool. We can even make that additive dissolve smaller, bigger, whatever you personally prefer. As I said, you're really crafting this into whatever you want. That's how you do the zoom out effect for this. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As I said, if you're one of those people who just physically don't feel like applying these effects every single time you want to use them, you can hit the link in the description and check out my most recent transition preset pack. There's a few of these in there. It isn't all of them, but it's a few of them in there, and it just makes your life a lot easier if you don't want to add these effects all the time. So check it out. Regardless, you have the information if you want to make it yourself. You don't have to purchase. So that's going to conclude this tutorial from me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, drop me a like if you didn't. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing it. Hit that subscribe button, man. We do music videos here, effects tutorials, overviews, a bunch of different things, man. Equipment reviews, all of that. So subscribe to the channel, man. I'm going to check y'all out on my next video. Peace.